It is time to fix your next 10 years by Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn's call to fix your next 10 years isn't merely a catchy phrase. It's a profound invitation to take charge of your future with intentionality, discipline, and clarity in an age where distractions abound and the pace of change accelerates. It can be all too easy to drift from one year to the next without a coherent plan. Yet, as Rohn taught, tomorrow is determined by what you do today, and the quality of your next decade hinges on the actions you take now. This text unpacks Rohn's timeless wisdom and provides a step-by-step framework to shape the coming 10 years into the life you truly desire. Understanding the power of a decade vision, a clear vision, is the cornerstone of any meaningful progress. Without it, you're like a ship sailing without a rudder, susceptible to every wind and current. Jim Rohn famously said, "Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Yet discipline becomes easier to maintain when guided by a vivid, emotionally charged vision of your future." Define your why. Why does the next 10 years matter? Perhaps you want financial freedom to support your family, the stamina to explore the world, or the influence to positively impact others. Your why must resonate deeply enough to sustain you through setbacks. Visualize with precision. Don't settle for vague dreams of success. Picture your ideal life in vivid detail: the home you'll live in, the routine you'll follow, the relationships you'll cherish, the level of health and energy you'll enjoy. Anchor your vision daily. Print or write down your vision, and place it where you'll see it every morning. As Rohn emphasized, you must be very careful what you set your heart upon, for it will surely be yours. Establishing a decade framework. Once your vision is clear, structure it into manageable chunks. 10 years can be daunting. Breaking it into phases makes it actionable. Years 1, 2, 3. Foundation building. Focus on personal development, acquiring core skills, establishing healthy habits, and creating stable financial practices. Years 4 to 7. Growth and expansion. Scale your efforts, whether that means advancing in your career, growing your business, or deepening your expertise. Years 8 to 10. Harvest and legacy. Consolidate gains, mentor others, diversify assets, and begin constructing your legacy. Be it a family culture, a business empire, or societal contributions. By approaching your decade as 3 distinct seasons, you can set phase-appropriate targets and avoid overwhelm. Crafting your personal philosophy. Jim Rohn insisted that your philosophy determines whether you will go for the easy or the difficult. A robust personal philosophy aligns your beliefs, values, and actions, creating consistency and purpose. Identify core values. List the principles that guide you: integrity, excellence, compassion, resilience. Adopt guiding beliefs. Choose empowering beliefs such as "I learn from every challenge" or "small daily improvements compound into massive results." Write your philosophy statement in 200 to 300 words. Summarize how you intend to live. This statement becomes your internal compass when choices conflict. Setting clear, compelling goals. Goals act as milestones along your path. Rohn advised setting goals in all key life areas: personal, professional, financial, health, relationships, and contribution. Specific. Increase business revenue by 15% within 12 months versus grow my business. Use quantifiable metrics, achievable, stretch goals that remain realistic, relevant, aligned with your decade vision. Time-bound. Assign deadlines to each objective. Create a master list of 10 to 15 year-end targets. Then break them into annual, quarterly, and monthly goals. Review and adjust these regularly, ensuring alignment with evolving circumstances. Building keystone habits. Habits are automatic routines that compound over time. Jim Rohn underscored that excellence is not an event but a habit. Morning rituals. Start each day with practices that prime you for success, such as meditation, journaling, affirmations, or exercise. Learning habit. Dedicate at least 30 minutes daily to reading or skill development. Rohn declared, "Formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune." Reflection habit. At day's end, review wins. lessons, and areas for improvement. Identify 3 to 5 keystone habits that deliver ripple effects. Once established, they make other positive behaviors easier. Mastering time management. Time is the one resource you cannot replenish. Jim Rohn urged us to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. That demands ruthlessly prioritizing your highest impact activities. Time audit. Spend a week logging how you use every hour, then eliminate time wasters. Time blocking. Allocate dedicated slots for deep work, meetings, learning, relationships, and rest. The 80-20th rule. Focus on the 20% of tasks that drive 80% of the results. Whether in business, investing, or personal growth, protect your calendar. Fiercely, as Ron put it, if you don't design your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan. Cultivating discipline and consistency, motivation fluctuates. But discipline sustains progress. Ron's philosophy centered on daily disciplines. Commit publicly. Share your goals with a mentor or accountability partner. Track daily actions. Use a journal or digital tracker to monitor whether you completed your essential tasks. Implement no excuse days, even when travel or emergencies strike. Maintain at least 50% of your routine. Over time, consistency transforms. A single day's discipline may feel trivial, but after 365 days, it defines your trajectory. Investing. In knowledge and skills, the marketplace rewards those who continually upgrade their capabilities. Ron advocated relentless self-education. Books over browsing. Place idle social media with timeless literature, leaders, entrepreneurs, and philosophers. Courses and workshops. Allocate budget and time to structured learning. Practice projects. Apply new skills immediately through small, low-risk experiments. By year 3, aim to master one high-leverage skill: public speaking, digital marketing, or financial analysis. That propels your decade plan. Financial empowerment and wealth building. Money is an amplifier of possibilities. Ron taught that money is usually attracted, not pursued. To fix your next decade financially, budgeting and saving. Automate at least 20% of your income into savings and investments. Emergency fund. Secure 3 to 6 months of living expenses to weather unexpected storms. Asset allocation. Build a diversified portfolio, low-cost index funds, real estate, and perhaps selected individual equities or small business investments. Multiple streams. To cultivate passive income through rental properties, royalties, or dividend-paying stocks. Set clear net worth and income targets for years 3, 7, and 10. Review quarterly, and rebalance as needed. Health, energy, and resilience. Without physical and mental vitality, other successes ring hollow. Ron emphasized the mind-body connection. Take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live. Sleep hygiene. Aim for 7 to 8 hours nightly, with consistent bed and wake times. Nutrition basics. Prioritize whole foods, hydration, and periodic fasting or mindful indulgences. Movement routine. Combine strength training, cardiovascular exercise, and flexibility work. Periodically assess stress levels and incorporate recovery practices, breathing exercises, nature walks, or digital detoxes. To maintain peak performance. Relationships. And network capital. Your network often defines the scope of your opportunities, Ron advised. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Strategic associations. Invest time in connecting with mentors, peers, and protégés who elevate your thinking and hold you accountable. Contribution first. Approach relationships with a generosity mindset. Offer help, share knowledge, make introductions. Family and friends. Allocate protected time for loved ones. These bonds fuel your emotional well-being as your decade plan unfolds. Introduce yourself to new circles. Industry associations, mastermind groups, philanthropic boards. To expand both your influence in learning, contribution, growth, and legacy, true fulfillment arises from contributing beyond yourself. Rohn held that one of the greatest gifts you can give to another person is a good example. Mentorship. By year 5, mentor at least one aspiring individual in your field. Philanthropy. Allocate time and resources to causes aligned with your values. Thought leadership. Share your journey through writing, speaking, or content creation to amplify your impact. Legacy isn't about preserving your name, but uplifting others to heights you helped them reach. Overcoming adversity and pivoting. No. Decade unfolds as planned. Jim Rohn reminded us, failure is simply a few errors in judgment repeated every day. To weather storms, reframe setbacks. View obstacles as feedback. What lesson is hidden in each challenge? Pivot with agility. When data suggests a course correction, market shifts, personal crises, don't cling to sunk costs. Resilience rituals. Develop stress buffering practices, gratitude journaling, peer support calls, or short breaks to recalibrate. By normalizing failure as part of growth, you'll navigate uncertainties with a steady, optimistic mindset. The role of mentors and masterminds. Rohn credited much of his success to studying under mentors like Earl Schoaf. He insisted, if you just communicate, you can get by. But if you communicate skillfully, you can work miracles. Seek formal mentorship. Identify individuals whose paths you admire and request guidance. Start with clear, respectful outreach. Join mastermind groups. Engage in peer cohorts that provide accountability, mutual support, and diverse perspectives. Become a mentor. Teaching consolidates your own learning and builds a reputation. Start informally by helping friends or colleagues. Strategic mentorship accelerates learning, prevents avoidable mistakes, and keeps you aligned with your vision. Sustaining momentum and reviewing progress. A 10-year journey requires regular recalibration. Without checkpoints, you risk drifting off course. Quarterly reviews, assess achievements, setbacks, and evolving priorities. Adjust goals and habits for the next quarter. Annual retreats. Dedicate 1 to 3 days each year to deep reflection. Celebrate milestones, refine your vision, and recharge your commitment. Celebrate wins, whether small habit victories or major breakthroughs. Pausing to acknowledge progress fuels continued motivation. Rohn taught that success is neither magical nor mysterious. Success is the natural consequence of consistently applying basic fundamentals. Conclusion. To fix your next 10 years, according to Jim Rohn, is to move beyond drifting into an intentional, disciplined, philosophy-driven life. It demands a clear vision, structured goals, keystone habits, financial acumen, physical vitality, and robust relationships, all underpinned by resilience and continuous learning. Begin today. Write your philosophy statement, set your first 3-year targets, and implement your morning ritual tomorrow. Remember, the quality of your life in 2035 rests upon the commitments you make and keep between now and then. Embrace Rohn's timeless wisdom, and watch as the next decade unfolds as your greatest legacy. Thank you for watching. Share it with the people around you.